Ronnie O'Sullivan, in a matter of 10 minutes, leads by 1 frame to 0. It's just what the doctor ordered. Ding levels the score. It's 1 frame all. Does this go? Yeah, it does. Has he hit it hard enough? I don't think he has. Ding lost the opening frame, but he's come storming back and he's won 3 in a row. Fabulous from Ronnie O'Sullivan. We're back all square. It's 3 frames all.
Yeah, great shot.
Well, he lost 3 frames in a row, but he's come bouncing back and he's won 3 in a row.
I don't think any of the players want to remember that shot.
Overall, I think a fair result. It's Ronnie O'Sullivan 4, it's Ding Junhui 4.
Ambassadors. He first made the second round here 12 years ago, and over the last decade he's become the most successful Asian player the sport has ever known. 14 ranking event titles, reigning UK champion from China. Enter the Dragon. Ding finally to the most successful Triple Crown player in history. He first appeared at this stage more than a quarter of a century ago. His longevity as impressive as his achievements. 5 times a champion of the world, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Dennis Taylor. Thank you, frame 9. Ding Junhui to break.
Thank you, Jason. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the Crucible Theatre for the second session of this, what I think will be an intriguing encounter. China versus England. Couldn't separate them in the first session. Quick fire snooker, under 2 hours for the first 8 frames. And the average frame time just over 14 minutes. So looking forward to this one, Stephen.
Yeah, very much so. And that 1 frame over 20 minutes, the 5th frame, was only that long because Ronnie missed a very easy black when Ding needed snookers, and Ding played on for 10 minutes. So that would have brought the average time down even further. And the last frame was, there was 2 or 3 mistakes from both players. Both players fouled the same shot, actually, going for a red with a rest.
This might drop in. That's amazing from that angle. I've seen that happen once before in this year's World Championship. From that angle, you'd find it difficult just to shoot the red. If you put the red where it hit the cushion, you couldn't shoot it into the pocket with the cue. And look at this. Yeah, that was bizarre, wasn't it, when Ding feathered the white with the rest, leaning over the blue, and then Ronnie did the same and knocked the blue away off its spot. But you've seen that stat there, the success rate, both in the 90s and for the whole tournament, it's in the 90s as well. That's the match there, both at 92%. And there's it for the whole tournament, 91 and 93%. That's good going.
It was interesting hearing the boys in the studio talking about Ronnie never getting bogged down. I did a live interview with him on social media during lockdown and asked him if there was one match he could replay. And he said it was the final against Selby because he felt he got bogged down. He felt he got dragged into that kind of game, where if he played it again, he'd be much more aggressive. but it doesn't happen often. I can't see any frames getting bogged down with these two. Both want to get in as quickly as possible, win the frame in one visit. Ding was pretty impressive in frames 2, 3 and 4 last night. He lost the first frame, missed a black off his spot, and you and I, Dennis, thought that's a bad sign, but then he came back and did really, really well to go 3-1 up. But I always think the second session of a 3-session match is kind of like the Saturday in a major golf championship. It's like moving day. You want to give yourself a good position going into the final session, a nice lead. Beautiful long pot there, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
1.
If he can get through to the yellow, he's okay. If not, he can get up the table off the green. He can get through to the yellow. And there was a couple of frames yesterday where it didn't look like there was any points available. And Ronnie O'Sullivan, within a couple of shots, had opened the whole frame up. It was lovely to watch. It's a similar situation here. They're very awkward.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 3.
Didn't expect him to miss that one, but as you can see, the table very awkward at the moment.
Yeah, it almost takes away a little bit of your desire to pot the ball, because you know that it's not great. There's nothing great to come from it. You know, if the black was available there in the open or the pink, there's no way Ronnie would have missed that red, I don't think.
1.
Be interesting to see how Ding Junhui plays this. He's got an angle on the yellow to cannon into the pink and reds, or cannon into the black and reds. There's a couple of loose ones. Interesting to see how he goes about this. Just playing for the loose reds. And if he's finished nicely on this one, he might be able to develop the pink.
3.
Well, I mean, if he'd picked a cue ball up in his hand and wanted to place it anywhere, he couldn't put it in a better place. Beautiful.
Four.
That's why they're both fantastic break builders. They see the opportunity well in advance, and he's got the pink into play already.
9. Ten.
And now he's got the black into a much better position.
Paintball.
Still one red available as we show you the pink into the middle.
16.
This one into the right corner is on. That might be the end of break, because the pink's not available into the middle pocket. Red blocking that.
Yeah, it's a strange shot there, really. Well, if he's going to play for the black, you think he would have followed through of 2 cushions, and I don't know whether he forgot the pink didn't go to the left middle, because that's exactly what it looks like he played for.
Ding Junhui, 17.
Well, that's a very good safety shot. Just played a few careless little safety shots yesterday, did Ronnie. Now that white has maybe come far enough up for Ronnie to cut this red in the middle pocket, so that was a bit of a mistake from Ding Junhui this time.
Wow, that's incredible. I was just about to praise Ronnie on the brilliance of his previous safety shot that forced the mistake out of Ding, but just a slight decel through the ball there, which always results in an overcut.
One.
Oh dear. That wasn't the plan.
Might have to be the brown now, because he's really awkward on the pink. Nicely played, and a nice angle to get out onto the pink. So it's a good start for Ding Junhui here.
6.
As I said, it was a very awkward frame the way the balls had finished up. But there's still a few reds available. The 3 reds around the black spot area are the easiest.
12.
The others are slightly more difficult.
$30.
You'll have to play over for the right side of the table now, but it's well off the cushion, so it shouldn't be a problem. Well, I say it shouldn't be a problem. Now that he's cannoned into it, it's a change of plan. He might be able to pot the one that's near the black spot.
90.
Unintentional cannon here, but I think he's still just about okay.
Ding Junhui, 19.
Just a little scrappy start to this second session. It can happen the way the balls have been situated.
One.
Most of the time he plays that shot better than anyone in the world. Plays most shots better than anyone in the world, actually, but the sort of slow drag shot, he just plays so well. It's such a difficult shot. You've got to be really positive through the cue ball. The one he missed in the middle a couple of shots ago, that was the same kind of shot, and the slightest bit of deceleration and you miss it thin, but he plays so many shots with that drag.
9.
beautiful to watch.
$16. $17.
Now, what sort of angle? Not the correct one on the black, so the pink. Similar shot to the one Ding played. And Ronnie's just coming up a little bit short with it. Maybe might have to take
23.
it up into the corner now. Now he's still going to cut it into the middle. Be some shot to disturb the reds from this position. He's got a bit of an angle on the yellow. He'll have to power this in to get to the reds. Not quite.
$26.
It's going to be an interesting end to this frame now. Not many frames between these two. We'll go to the last red or two when they're still pretty much level in score. So who's going to win this little tactical battle to win this first frame, the second session? I couldn't see, obviously, a good safety shot, so I decided to take the aggressive route and go for this red. Difference between the two players, that long red that Ding played, Ronnie would have played that drag, with drag bottom of the cue ball, where Ding plays middle or near the top.
Now, if he plays down off this red, it's going to go close to the other corner pocket. This red will head over past the black when playing the safety. But he hit it too thin. Has he fluked it in the middle pocket? Wow.
One.
Bit of a trick shot there, but he hit it too thin. Got the double kiss, but this is a John Parrott special if he was going to take the pink on. I always say that about John. He was so good from this position. He's not bad either.
Yeah, choosing to take the 6 points and run. 13-point lead can be quite useful in this kind of situation. Send the red around the table, somewhere in between brown and blue. Hopefully, but he's butchered that one.
Tension we set.
Didn't expect him to miss that. Missed a few like that yesterday. He wasn't really the same player that beat Tet Chow, who know 10-1. He was unbelievable in that match, but this is a totally different scenario here against this very talented Chinese player.
Yeah, he was put under no pressure whatsoever in that first round by his opponent. This is a shocker from Ding Junhui. I mean, how he didn't get the snooker there, I don't know. So, neither player really settled in this session.
Well, he's got another chance here. You can pot this and hold for the black. Yeah, long way off it. And a chance for Ronnie to snick this red in. I think he'll avoid the cannon onto the yellow. If he pots this, he could finish up on the black, believe it or not. But if he potted it and hit the yellow, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I say it wouldn't be a bad thing. It's pushed the yellow way up the table, but he's still got a chance here. Now, what sort of angle has he got here? It looks perfect, Stephen, to get down on the green. Oh, it's carrying on running. Look at the speed of that.
5.
So it's not fair, is it? Just to be able to switch hands and play the shot like that. Most right-handed players have to get the rest out, and it'd be such a difficult shot to judge to get on the yellow.
7. Ten.
Wry smile. Have to use 2 or 3 cushions here to get on the blue. Get nicely on the blue, I think.
Needs to avoid the middle pocket. It's close. It spoiled
40.
the position slightly. He's got to go all the way around the table to get the rest.
Yeah, he needs to take a couple of deep breaths, I think. He may go for this, you know, just for the way he's feeling. Yeah, good discipline. I just thought,
Sullivan.
for
40.
1 second, the frustration might have played the blue into one of the corner pockets.
Ronnie looking around at the scoreboard, but both players need blue and pink to win this opening frame of this second session. No attempt at the pot there, just a pure safety shot. And it's a pretty good one. Can't be further away from the ball than this. One ball on the cushion, the other on the opposite cushion.
Good shot. As played, the bonus would have been behind the pink, but the priority was getting the blue safe, which is done.
Well, there's a bit of a chance for Ding Junhui. It'll need very good cueing, but if the blue goes in, he's going to be on the pink, you would feel. Key shot in this opening frame.
Yeah, it's turned into a big frame, this, the way it's been played.
Oh, a little bit of early tension. Now that he's got a good cue ball, even though he's left the blue over the pocket, he knows that Ding's going to have to play a very good shot to get on the pink here. Has to avoid the middle pocket with the white. Well, I was going to say, it looks like he's got away with it, but he hasn't. He's going to be in behind the black here. Advantage Ronnie O'Sullivan after this shot.
Yeah, this frame won't have done any player's confidence much good, but I think Ding, if he loses it, will definitely dent his confidence. He's had 2 or 3 chances in this frame, good chances. And that was
foul.
Well, that was a mile out.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
A little bit of frustration starting to creep in.
Potting the pink left-handed. But as Stephen
11.
said, Ding Junhui had 2 or 3 chances, didn't capitalise on it. It was a very scrappy frame, just the way the balls went. Ronnie O'Sullivan puffs his cheeks out, but he's in the lead, 5 frames to 4.
Tuned in today, expecting to see some fireworks between Ronnie O'Sullivan and Ding Junhui. Are we going to have this all match, you think, John?
No, there'll be fireworks coming, but what a massive frame that was. And, of course, Ding can't complain. He had a few chances, but the last one he's got here on the blue, he gets the double whammy, because not only does he miss it, which he should pot, really, he gets the double kiss, flicks the black over to the side cushion, and where the cue ball and the blue finish, absolute guaranteed to be in trouble. So, obviously, you know, it's in his own hands. He should have potted the blue, but once that happened, he was definitely second favourite for that.
Steve, thoughts on opening exchanges?
Well, he had a great chance to snooker Ronnie O'Sullivan, missed that by miles. But to make an excuse for the players, here's my summary of it. Tough when you're watching from the studio and we're not commentating from the room to get a feeling. But I got a feeling that the conditions are heavy. I was talking about the amount of humidity that may be. The table, it feels like the table's playing heavy. That's, yeah. They're great players. They can always play badly in a frame. It may hot up, but I've just got a feeling perhaps the humidity levels are higher.
Yeah, maybe. Back we go. Ronnie.
Yeah, it's probably quite a bit humid, but they have got the table heaters there to try and keep the bed of the table and cloth at a constant temperature, but it can affect things and playing conditions. Well, we've had 54 centuries here so far, so the tables have been playing beautifully. And that one shot there has cleared the black. There's the temperature gauge that's under the table. Keeps the slate nice and warm, and the cloth. Yes, the damp cloth's the worst possible thing you can play on. I remember doing an exhibition with Graham Miles, who was pot black champion twice many, many years ago, and the fella said, "You'll enjoy the table, we washed it for you." Couldn't pot a ball, it was wet through the cloth.
conditions are heavy. There's nothing worse for especially players like Ding Junhui and Ronnie O'Sullivan who are all about touch, timing. As I said earlier, Ronnie likes to play everything with drag, and then a heavy table. That's not nice at all. You just don't get the grip.
If we can get these two reds sorted out and back up the table, we can get back to a normal frame. Always awkward when there's a couple of reds up the other end. Didn't want to knock the black off its spot and onto the side cushion. Just as the frame was opening up there, black has been knocked slightly awkward.
One.
That was played. Was playing the safety shot, but he had his eye on the double there.
Five. Six.
If he could drop on the red to the right side of the table there, that's in the open, he could possibly play for the black, because there would be the red to the left and the black available. Won't be able to do that now.
Eight.
He'll be down for the blue here.
Nine.
And then full ball into the pink. Would certainly bring the pink and reds into play. Caught the pink half ball and white running loose. Needed a fuller contact on the pink
40.
there. It was just away from the red slightly, which didn't help.
Ronnie O'Sullivan. 14.
to have a long straight red, but what a test of cue action. These are what you call confidence boosters, if you can knock them in.
Yeah, he won't be feeling too confident after the long pots he missed in the first frame. Yeah, another one missed by quite a long way. Not good signs this for Ding Junhui in this second session. You can see the tip of the cue didn't go through in a straight line. Might be tempted by the cross double again here. Yeah. Knew the cue ball was coming into a safe-ish area. He'd like it to stop now. It's not gonna.
I don't think he fancied that one little bit. Is the pink going to come to his rescue?
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Might have. Very fortunate there, but very unlucky to finish where he did when he took the double on. Can he see enough of this? It looked like he was snookered. He might be able to. Yeah, he could snick it in. So he didn't get away with it. Played it with a tremendous amount of side just to create the angle.
Oh, he must have a nice angle in the pink. He's going straight into the bunch here. Top spin. That'll do.
7.
Might have expected to open up more reds than he did. But this is
8.
quite an important visit to the table for Ding Junhui. He's not been playing well in the first frame or so. He's missed a lot of balls by a long way. He needs something to settle him down, get his rhythm back.
$13.
You could see the finger marks on the cloth there. That's a bit of an indication that it's playing slightly heavy as well. And you can see the finger marks on the cloth.
They go into the bunch again here. Beautiful shot. Absolutely beautiful shot.
16.
Where's the guy with the button, Dennis? That deserved a round of applause, surely.
Couldn't agree more. That shot's given him a great chance
17.
to knock in a substantial break here.
$22. $23. $28. $29.
just probably play for the red that's over the corner pocket this time, because that's blocking another red. And you can just see the top one of those three will go to left corner, but a little bit of a rash shot here from Ronnie. Do you think Dennis didn't have to take
85.
that pink on? A little bit of frustration where he landed.
Yeah, he got down and played it very quickly, didn't he? With the awkward queuing, the
36.
percentage. Knocking that in and getting on the red was very, very high. Ding Junhui, well, he had 2 or 3 chances in the opening frame. He's got to make this one pay, you would feel.
Yeah, when you see Ronnie
Get the
playing
knock
that
down,
kind of
guys,
shot,
please.
you wonder whether he's got the, he's up for, you know, a real battle today.
42.
When he's focused and up for it, I don't think he plays that shot, because he
43.
would know that Ding was struggling, and he's let Ding back in to get his cue arm going and possibly win this frame at this visit. I mean, I probably would have gone for the pink as well, but it doesn't make it the right shot.
49. $50.
Just one more red needed to secure this
56.
second frame and get himself level again.
$57. $64.
Doesn't matter about the red.
64 and the frame.
Balls went a little awkward again in this frame, but that was a magnificent effort from Ding Junhui. That 64 break gets him back. We're all square at 5 frames each.
Stats, we're looking at Ronnie O'Sullivan's career centuries, 1,052, John, and Ding 535 career centuries. There may be some people watching saying, I tuned in for some century breaks this afternoon, chaps.
OK, it's coming.
Yeah.
Is that all right with you?
Yeah, yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Interesting, though, Steve made an observation. He thinks the table might be playing a little bit heavy. You've heard something, haven't you?
Well, I think a player has told another player who may be working here that maybe the table's playing heavy, so therefore it's tougher to play out there and the pockets are pretty tight. If that is the case, it seems like it is, I'd favour Ding Junhui in these circumstances. 2 reasons. The Asian players have lots of experience of playing in humid conditions, and also Ding Junhui, of all of the top players, plays plain ball pots when he's playing cut shots. And Ronnie O'Sullivan doesn't so much. He will put a fraction of side spin on sometimes. It is a lot harder to play with side spin and pot the ball in heavy conditions.
Ding Junhui to break.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, John. 5 apiece.
Wonder who Steve's talking about.
He knows everything, does Steve Davis, doesn't he?
Yeah. Whoever it is, you can't tell him anything, can you? Chance here. Red to right corner. But as we said, his long potting has not been great this session so far. Very early in the session. But this needs good cueing. Steve says, strikes the ball very well in the middle, and that was beautifully struck. So that break that he made in the previous frame has really given him that bit of confidence.
Can you believe it? How many times have we seen that? Put all his concentration into the cannon, forgot to pot the black. How can you knock a long red in like the one he knocked in and then miss the black off the spot? Just took his focus off the pot. Just was concerned about bringing those reds and clearing the black spot area.
Nine.
Well, there's another shocker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Both players missing blacks off the spot. What's happening out there? I just sensed in the opening session that Ronnie wasn't fully focused as he was in his opening match.
One.
Just let his concentration slip slightly. And can snowball at this game. And if you give this player too many opportunities, he can rack up 3 or 4 frames in no time at all.
Nine. $60.
Yeah, the other ingredient that
70.
normally comes hand in hand with a table playing heavy is bounces off cushions. So let's hope the table doesn't get to the stage where it's unplayable.
22. $23.
Another 33 points required
30.
to leave Ronnie needing a snooker.
And the way
31.
those 3 reds are near the pink, doesn't have to play a cannon, they'll all clear the path for one another. As he pots this one, it will make the one next to it available into the right
38.
corner. It's taking the other option, red to the middle pocket.
39.
But he'll get him back into a similar position now with this shot.
$46.
And this in turn, when he gets on the red,
47.
this 2 from the pink will clear the one right next to the pink. So he's looking good, Stephen, for another frame here.
Yeah, and Ding's got a sense there's a bit of frustration in his opponent. So that makes it even more important that he
54.
punishes by winning the frame at this visit
55.
to keep those frustration levels high. could spark into life just like that, and all of a sudden reel off 3-4 frames, making 3-4 centuries. At the moment,
61.
it's just a little bit of frustration there, so Ding's got to really
62.
stamp his authority.
$68. $69.
Nice little shot to flick one of the reds out from the right-hand cushion to make the century a possibility.
And he's made a few of those in his career. 535 centuries Ding Junhui has made. 31 so far
75.
this season. He's made 3 in the tournament up to now.
76.
If the table is playing slightly heavy, this is where players like Ding and Ronnie come to the fore, because their positional play is so
83.
good. Keep the cue ball close control, don't let it use much mileage.
84.
And he's pretty much had the cue ball in a string in this break, as you would expect.
$91. $93.
.54 centuries so far, and we're not even through the second round.
96.
This has been
100.
vintage Ding Junhui this century break. Absolute clinic in cue ball control.
105. $111.
Beautiful break
on
of
the French.
118 by Ding Junhui. He now leads Ronnie O'Sullivan 6 frames to 5.
Seconds, that's more like it, John.
We told you to be a century. Ye of little faith.
You did.
These boys are too good for there not to be a 100 break, but that was wonderfully constructed, beautiful cue ball control. Cue ball hardly moves when Ding makes a break. It's so good. But he's doing what he's got to do. It's not going like an easy session for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Missing 1 or 2 here and there and a couple of loose shots, and you've got to keep the pressure on him and do it by scoring as heavily as he is.
We watched Ding in the first round, Steve, and we were both impressed. In patches, he played like that, didn't he, hitting the ball that well?
Yeah, I mean, he is such a solid striker of the ball, wonderful cue action. And the way he plays, we're talking about this sort of plain ball striking, it makes the game a lot easier if that's how you've grown up playing. Ronnie's walked out, looks a bit sort of deflated a bit. If he's getting fed up with the table conditions, as if he feels like, he can't make the ball talk as well as he can do, and he may be sort of struggling for the rest of this session, so he needs to sort of dig in. I like the fact he's gone out to the toilet to try and regroup, but he may be, more so than Ding, affected by the slight problems in conditions, a bit like the thoroughbred racehorse, more so, that you're affected by little bits and pieces around. So he might struggle, and he plays a lot of shots, as Stephen Hendry said, about sort of playing slow drag shots. And if you get an ounce of side spin on those, the shape of the cue ball changes, and it's a big problem for a player trying to adjust to that. Plain ball striking could be of a premium for all the time.
For the mid-session interval.
The break-off shot this time is pretty good, although it's tied the black up. The number of times the red goes right next to the black from the break-off shot's amazing. Another poor safety shot from Ronnie.
One.
Looks to have a natural angle in the blue, just to come off 2 cushions, land behind this red. That's on near the right hand side cushion. He can play for other reds as well. As I say, the natural angle will miss the red. He's played for that one. Pink's available to the left middle.
6. 7.
Pink may be tied up now when it's respotted, but he's got nice easy red to get back for the blue.
30.
So although the reds are not
14.
too badly placed, pink and black now out of commission at present. Might be able to do something about that in a couple
90.
of shots' time. Get nicely on the blue. He could then cannon the pink and reds. There's also another
20.
option available. There's a red to the right of the black too from the black. If he got on that, he could pot it, move the red away from the black. So he's got plenty of choices here. I'll have to go up for the blue again
25.
here. That red I mentioned is available.
Yeah, one of the reasons he
26.
might be reluctant to go into the pink is that the black's already blocked up, and it might even make that area even more congested if he goes into them directly from the blue. That's why he might just do a bit of cherry picking for 2 or 3 shots, just move, get rid of some of the reds.
$31. $32. Yeah.
Got a slight kick there, heavy contact, but didn't affect the shot really.
He also got a slightly springy bounce. This cue ball flew off the cushion.
Well, he's still, as Stephen said, he's cherry picking at the moment. Just picking them off
37.
one at a time. This will change the outlook.
38.
He was always going to be on a colour, and he knew he was bringing the black into play, so developing into an excellent opportunity now. And if he could go to the mid-session interval, winning this session 3-1, that's what he would have been after. How's your luck here, Ding?
$42.
Slight angle. Played it well, played it really well.
43.
And hit that beautifully to get the white up into that position. Played with right hand striking on the cue ball. That time he decided to go into the pink and reds, and it's
48.
still okay. He had a fuller contact on the pink, but he can still cut this back.
49.
So breaks of 64, 118, and now this. That's the standard you need if you're going to knock out
54.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
This has been
55.
magnificent. It really has, the last two frames. An absolute masterclass in break building, especially this frame. Knew the shot wasn't to go into the pink at the start of the break because it was just blocked everything up.
$62.
In my opinion, Dennis, he should have won the World Championship by now. Could this be his year?
No reason why not. He's had
63.
3 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and a final. Is the time right?
A long, long way to go. And just in this match, never mind the championship, but
69.
he's got everything required in his game to win the World Championship.
70.
But perhaps there's that final ingredient. Needed that little bit of mental strength, possibly.
I think what this will do, it will fire Ronnie O'Sullivan up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come out after the
75.
mid-session interval and do exactly what Ding's doing here. A number of times that's usually the case. You get a couple of awkward frames, then one player produces, and it lifts the standard of the other player.
One thing you'd have to give massive credit to Ding Junhui, as far as if the table is
80.
playing heavy and difficult, he's not making it look like it.
84.
It's been majestic. So the centre in the previous frame made it 55. The record is 100.
91.
So we're already halfway there. Obviously, the more rounds, less
92.
players, but more frames.
$99.
Another
101.
magnificent century from this very talented Chinese player. That's 2 in a row. Doesn't matter about the green. He'll be delighted with this performance. He's won the mini session 3 frames to 1 with the aid of 2 century breaks. You can't do better than that. And he goes off to the mid-session interval, and he's now leading by 7 frames to 5.
And so, nasty moments.
I have a feeling we'll be hearing and reading a lot more about that exchange between Anthony McGill and Jamie Clark. Anyway, big deep breath. Let's concentrate on Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7-5 down against Ding Junhui. It's live from the Crucible. Let's rejoin Stephen and Dennis.
Thank you, Jason. Not a bad break-off shot from Ding Junhui. And that's a better one from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Excellent return. And he's got to play a few more like that to give himself the opening, force Ding Junhui into leaving him a chance. You'd no escape back to the ball area there, just a containing safety. Be interesting to see if the mid-session interval does change things around, because Ding Junhui's had breaks of 64, 100 mid-session interval with a 2-frame advantage. Pretty tight, the one he's looking at. Now looking at the safety. Got to be careful with the red over the left side of the table here. Avoid that. Well, there was a similar shot that Ding looked at and refused it. Ronnie thought he could have a go at it. Oh, that's unlucky.
Oh. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Well, you could stand there for a month and you couldn't do that again. You had to put everything into the cut bag, but to clip the blue and go in off, amazing.
One.
Now that time, hand on the table. Much more comfortable long pot, but still needed potting. Excellent shot. And you would think time for Ronnie O'Sullivan to go to work in this match. Do some scoring of his own.
8.
Because he's been comprehensively outscored in the first 4 frames of this match. The session, I should say.
9. $14. 50.
No morning session tomorrow.
22.
This match will conclude tomorrow night. 7 o'clock. We've got a session at 1 o'clock, but no morning session. Now has those 3 frames that he lost without
28.
virtually getting a shot. Just set off a little
20.
spark in the rocket. was almost straight. It was very difficult to judge that.
36.
This is a tricky little shot into the middle. No problem.
37. $44.
This effort still
45.
under 3 minutes. Got the loose red. He's thought about whether to go into them or not. Played for the loose one.
52.
Not sure if the one to the right at the back of that little bunch is available into the left corner. If it is, he doesn't have to go into
53.
them. If not, he's got the perfect angle. I was going to say the perfect angle. If it pulled up a little shorter, perfect angle from the green. It's still on from the green, just slightly more difficult. And that will do nicely. That was a terrific shot because
56.
he had slightly more angle than he needed there and played it to
57.
perfection. Well, you could say the rocket has lifted off.
A little bit
64.
slightly careless there. Didn't play for the can in the red, but it still goes. This has been another
65.
magnificent display of break building, this time by Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's watched his opponent produce in the previous 2 frames. Is he going to make a centre of his own here?
70.
He may take the red off the cushion from this red, or use the pink.
71.
It's an option, maybe a little bit too straight now.
$77.
It's all from things
78.
unfortunate enough. Ronnie had ball in hand, knocked in a long one, and this has been the result.
Has he got the angle to lift that difficult red now to give himself a
84.
good chance of the century? Hadn't quite got the natural angle,
85.
so if he can avoid the pink on the way up, a little bit aside, he can go over and move this difficult red. Just a bit too much side. This would be some pot.
90.
Good effort.
Ronnie O'Sullivan,
No
90.
century break,
And the
but
point.
you could see Ding just tapping his knee there in acknowledgement. That was a marvellous break from Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he closes the gap. He's now just 1 behind. It's 7-6.
Well, straight away for 2 players who want again make big breaks. The black has been tied up off the Ronnie's break off straight away. It's not the best one. He's left Ding an opportunity. Well, for someone whose pot success is 91%, the long pot success is down at 50. Which just shows you when he gets in amongst the balls, he's scoring very heavily, but the long game is not quite there. Oh, down at 47.
1.
That needs to improve, not only to win this match, but if he's going to go further in the championship.
Usually very good at that type of shot. Stephen mentioned the black being tied up. If Ronnie can get on that red to the left of the black in such a way, he could pot it and just flick the other red away. He's got 2 other loose reds to play on, but you know the way he thinks, very, very positive. And he's played for that red. Has he got the angle?
11.
Maybe just. Almost. It was just a fraction away of being perfect to execute that shot there. Made a big difference. Well, has he got away with this? Because
12.
didn't get close to that difficult blue that he took on. Need to get that red back up the table to get the frame back to normal. Which is duly done. Oh, what a shot that is.
1.
What a shot that is. That's delightful. Played at that pace to hold for the black. I don't think Ronnie was expecting that.
Yeah, he's knocked in a couple like that when he's been dropping them in dead weight. They're going in, but it's the ones when he's having to put a bit of power that he's missing by a long way in terms of long shots.
8. Nine.
That was a nice little shot. Just used a bunch of reds just to control the cue ball, stay on blue or black. I think if the pink wasn't hampering him, he'd be going into the reds here. But just got a slightly longer bridge, although he's aiming down in the cue ball, so he might still be playing into the bunch. Yeah, he is. Oh dear.
5.
How unlucky. So the last frame he's potted a red and the cue ball's going in off.
7.
This frame, split the reds and the red's going in the middle. How's your luck?
One.
Ronnie made a 90 break when Ding was unfortunate to pot a red, flick the blue and go in off. How many will he make from Ding's misfortune there. The reds are nicely situated.
He had 9 reds when he started, so no century on, but you'd be very surprised if he didn't win the frame at this visit.
Eight. Nine.
Well, that happened before with Ding, and it's now just happened with Ronnie. Big bounce off the cushion. Is he still on a red?
14.
I think he is.
15.
Just gone past straight on the blue.
There's a lot of the players in the modern game very good when they switch hands, but there's nobody better than this
20.
man. In fact, at times, even with a full audience, he switches hands and they don't realize because he doesn't look a lot different. Needs to get to 61 points to leave Ding Junhui needing a snooker.
28. 29.
And that's just left him slightly hampered. Yeah, he can just get past the red. No, yes. When you see them going towards the near jaw, you think they're not going to go in, but not a problem there.
50.
From both of them now.
Yeah, this is what we thought it was going to be. This is what we expected before the
51.
start of this match. Yeah, last night was good, but it didn't reach these heights now of the break building. It's just brilliant to watch. My kind of snooker, Dennis. You can keep your 1 hour frames.
56. 57.
Well, everyone enjoys watching this. Everyone, probably with the exception of Ding Junhui, who had to just
62.
sit out this brilliant break after he was very unfortunate.
64.
Yeah, you can't legislate for that.
67. 71.
As Stephen said, not enough to make a century, but another fine effort from Ronnie O'Sullivan.
76.
The break just coming up to 5 minutes.
82.
2 more frames to be played. If they're anything like the last couple, we're in for an absolute treat. Ronnie
89.
O'Sullivan with that magnificent break of 89 levels the score. It's 7 frames all.
And we'll be switching.
Yeah, safety is vastly overrated. After the way Ding's played, he definitely doesn't want to be 9-7 down. 8 each you can just about handle. Obviously love to be 9-7 in front, but doesn't want to lose both these last frames. Pot missed. No, just didn't reach the green pocket. Two frames less left in this session. Oh, nice to win this one, and then you know you're not behind going into the last session with a chance for the 9-7 lead.
Foul. On the miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 6.
Ronnie felt there was no value in replacing him. He would just have played the same shot again, so played the shot himself. All snooker players, when they play that type of shot, when they catch a balk colour, it's a snooker player's pet hate when that happens. This is pretty good.
Well, this is where we now leave you on BBC One, but we'll be on BBC Two in a minute. You will not miss a thing. If you want Anthony McGill, Jamie Clark, that is still on your red button BBC Sport website, app and iPlayer. But BBC Two right now for Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ding Junhui. See you in a few seconds. Welcome everybody to our coverage on BBC Two of the Betfred World Championship 2020. We are watching Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ding Junhui, and we have a classic second round match on our hands. Ronnie O'Sullivan 7, Ding Junhui 7, both players doing what we love them doing, potting balls, big breaks. Let's rejoin the action live from the Crucible Theatre in Sheffield. Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor.
Thank you, Jason. No big breaks in this frame because it's finished a little awkward. You didn't miss very much, switching channels there. Very awkward, isn't it, with the balls all over the right side of the table.
Both players not on the ball with their long potting in this match. Both obviously, when they get in, they're savage scorers, but long potting has not been the highlight of the match so far.
Well, I think, Stephen, you should sit back and enjoy this nice little tactical battle that you love so dearly.
Always willing to learn, Dennis, mate. never, or hardly ever plays a plain ball safety, Ronnie O'Sullivan. It's just brilliant to watch. He's always putting some sort of side in the cue ball to send it around angles, manoeuvring the cue ball to where he wants it. Look at that, just jammed up against that bolt cushion. Horrible place to play shots from. Containing safety this time from Ding Junhui.
Foul. Ronnie
3
O'Sullivan.
points for that in billiards.
This red will cut in, the one nearest the right corner. So almost 8 minutes gone, and the first red goes down. He won one of the frames in 8 minutes, did Ronnie, but it's just the way they've finished up.
Ronnie O'Sullivan won.
Very awkward table, but they're gradually opening up the reds, so Ding will have to be very careful here. I don't know if he can get twice across the table and land on the one that's nearest the cushion, but he would have to be so precise with that, otherwise he'd leave the one just 2 from the black. Let's see if he can land on that red. There is a gap through to it. No, he's just playing for the one on the side cushion. He felt that everything would be safe, but having said that, don't be surprised if Ronnie doesn't knock this one in. But it was a difficult situation for Ding Junhui there. Oh, close.
A little bit surprised Ronnie played to screw the cue ball up the table there, because obviously playing it with more pace makes the pot more difficult. It could have just a little stun out for the pink to the same pocket. So played it with just a little bit element of safety, which is not like him. You see, he can just stun the cue ball out if he wants. It means he doesn't have to play with as much pace. The pot becomes easier. And he's got the pink to the same pocket. Very negative player, Ronnie O'Sullivan, isn't he, Dennis?
And once again, he swung that white with lots of right hand striking around the angles. So we've had a little bit of everything now in this match. Last 4 frames were won with 1 visit, and now we've got this tactical battle. See who makes the first mistake. And that might just be the first mistake, because I've got a sneaky feeling Ronnie's going to come around the table. If he can pot the red and leave the white where the red is, I think he could get himself on the black. He did have a look at that. There's a gap between the 2 reds. If he stops the white just where the red is. Yeah, he's found the gap with the 2 reds. So now, a very good chance.
Yeah, beautiful bit of control there, wasn't it? And a slight angle in the red, which meant the cue ball. Someone who doesn't have the cue ball control, Ronnie could have easily snookered himself behind one of those 2 reds, but just beautifully found the gap. And that's not his best shot.
8.
Certainly didn't play to be hampered here like this.
9.
And having been so, he's not able to get a nice position on the black. Don't expect him to miss this black, but he'll get his attention. Just made sure the pot was kind of trusting a little bit to luck where the cue ball was going to end up.
16. 17.
Just working out the puzzle.
$22. $23. $28. 29.
Black just available into the one corner pocket. But 5-6 minutes ago, the table looked very awkward.
36.
It's not awkward now.
37.
Got a kick there, but he's just about okay. That was a heavy contact. You could hear a groan from Ronnie. The black jumped and it threw it
44.
offline just a little bit.
45.
But I did mention at the time I thought the mid-session interval could change things around. Ding John Way was flying, but it's Ronnie O'Sullivan that's now dominating these frames.
Yeah, go back to those little 2 bits of misfortune. That's how fine the margins are between these 2 players.
52.
Who knows what the score would have been if those little bits of bad fortune didn't happen to Ding Junhui.
53.
But all Ronnie can do is come to the table and do what he does and just take advantage, and that's exactly what he's done.
$58. 59.
You make one mistake in this match now and the frame's over. Tough school.
$64. 65.
That's a pretty good shot also. Frame safe, but that was excellent. There's enough points there to make the century.
72. 73.
We've had 56 so far in this year's Betfred World Championship. Ronnie's had 3. Oh, hampered with a red, so no century break.
And
He'd be a little disappointed, but not too disappointed. He got one chance, he took it, and all of a sudden Ronnie O'Sullivan has got himself into the lead. It's 8 frames to 7.
Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor talking about safety, and Stephen learning an awful lot about safety play, John.
It's funny, really, because I just watched somebody who looked a bit like Stephen Hendry playing for a 5er against Ken Doherty, and all he did was play safe. That mustn't have been him, obviously.
There's bullying in the workplace, I call this, Dennis.
Yeah, these 2 boys are getting ready for the World Seniors Championship, which will be played at the Crucible Theatre a couple of days after this finishes, and Jimmy White will be favoured to defend his title, but watch out for the darling of Dublin and the 7 times world champion.
Yeah, how many World Championships is Ken allowed to play in? It doesn't seem fair. Anyway, back to serious business. Very important frame, this, for Ding Junhui. We all know what kind of front runner Ronnie O'Sullivan is. The best has ever been. think as a neutral Dennis, you'd love it to be 8 each when you're going into the final session. That would set up, well, what a match it would set up.
I mean, this would have made a fabulous final, these two players.
One.
Oh, that's a terrific opener. Yeah, book your seat in front of the television for tomorrow evening, starting at 7 o'clock. It's going to be special. That got an unbelievable bounce off the cushion there. He's still on the red, but
3.
maybe just the conditions causing the odd shot to bounce quickly off the cushion.
4.
That's a great recovery.
Well, the last 2 shots have just been magnificent. Both players have made, as I say, Ding loses the cue ball slightly, but both players have made break building look very easy.
12.
Be a shame to lose one of these players, Dennis, so early in the tournament. As you say, this could be a final. This could be a final quite easily.
19. 20.
Beautifully played.
27.
There's a couple more reds available to him. Then he's going to have to get a cannon into the bunch.
$28.
It's a tough pack to go into from the black, the way the reds are sitting there. So he's playing to leave himself on the blue. Be much easier
85.
to cannon into the pink and reds. Key shot
36.
coming up. The blue will put him 41 in front. If he gets a good cannon, it'll be a great chance. I think he's just okay. This red goes into the middle pocket, but he hit that
41.
exactly as he intended.
That was just played to perfection. Well, how unlucky is that? He's been absolutely cursed with bad luck since the interval, Ding Junhui.
It's amazing from that picture. It looked as if the red would go in the middle, but clearly doesn't. So a bit unfortunate there.
Ding Junhui. 41.
I mean, it's just, that's what you play. You play the pink full in the face. Look at the reds. And just so unlucky. It could be a situation where he's 9-7 down and virtually through no fault of his own. Just doesn't want to kind of push the boat out and take anything risky at this stage. Look at where the reds are. It will cost him the frame. You know, he's desperate to make it 8 each. Another very good shot. There's been some standard in this match the last few frames. Really has.
The cannon on the yellow has left a possible pot for Ding Junhui, but let's see how he cues this one. Well, he took the safer option there. He played to get down for the yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a good shot now, doesn't it? A good cue ball anyway, but I just think if you're going to go for it, go for it. You're full bloodly with 100% and, you know, play for a colour. I think as long as you've got that negativity in your mind, that slight thought of safety, it takes some of your concentration away from the pot. I think if he'd have stunned for the blue there, dangerous though it was, I think he'd have got it. Meanwhile, he's been gifted a chance to win the frame, has he?
Has he been lucky? The red will cut into the middle pocket, but it's the one up past the green that might be slightly easier. You'd like to see this disappear. No. So just the tension of knowing that he's got a great chance to level the scores here.
Well, he's had some running, Ronnie. Although he's been brilliant as well. He's capitalised on the chances, but any little bit of ball run that's gone, he's had it. Ding should still have potted that red, mind you. Wow. This time he has been gifted a chance to win this final frame of the session.
One. Eight. 9.
It's a fairly comfortable run to the winning line in this final frame of this session.
Yeah, I think it deserves to be 8 each. Both players have shone in this second session.
16. 7.
Yeah, Ding Junhui had a run of breaks of 64, 118 and 101 before the mid-session interval. Ronnie come out with breaks of 90 and 89. So this red
24.
and another black will more or less secure this final frame.
25.
And Ronnie will be back 7 o'clock tomorrow night for what should prove to be a fabulous match.
$32. 33.
Thoroughly enjoyed every moment of this. There was a couple of scrappy
40.
frames that they couldn't do much about,
41.
but it's been a very high standard that these two players have produced.
$48. 49.
Well, so much side on that to try and develop the red. You'd have to double the one next
53.
to the pink, but it doesn't really matter. Breaks of 41 and 53,
53.
and both players touch arms there. It's been a fabulous, entertaining session of snooker, and we can't separate them They're coming back tomorrow night. They're all square at 8 frames all.
Ambassadors. His achievements have inspired a nation, and there'll be millions watching live tonight in China. 14 times a ranking event winner, Enter the Dragon to the most decorated Triple Crown player in history, bidding for an incredible 19th Crucible quarter-final 25 years after his first. 5 times a champion of the world, the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
On BBC Two, it's Ronnie O'Sullivan, Ding Junhui. Good evening, Stephen Hendry and John Parrott.
Good evening, Jason, and good evening, everybody, for what should be a fascinating final session. Level of 4 all, level at 8 each, nothing to split them. Who's going to be the one that runs to the winning post?
One.
Well, that's a good way to start this session. So similar to the match this afternoon with Hawkins and Robertson at 8 each. Who's going to take this final session by the scruff of the neck?
Yeah, Ding must have been dreading that opening shot from Ronnie there. Break-off wasn't brilliant, and just a inevitability about that long pot. Definitely not what you're looking for, giving this man an easy chance. Not brilliant, of course. Black tied up, so we'll need a good bit of thinking about.
Can he get through to the red closest to the left corner? No. Wasn't the easiest pack to go into there. See, because the pink and red are a plant. The pink was never going to go into the main bunch.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 10.
Yeah, just a containing safety shot from Ronnie. I suppose he's giving Ding the option of playing the red that's in the balk area. Refusing it though.
Well, that's obviously what both of these players want. Black back in the open.
As was mentioned, yet to win this great championship. Not for the one to try in Ding Junhui. Run into Mark Selby on 2 occasions. Semi-final and a final. He's been beaten by a man from Leicester. And 2 classics as well. Played great in both of those matches. Just ran into Selby, who was just too tough and too good. Definitely falls into that category of one of the best players never to win a World Championship, I suppose, along with Jimmy.
Ronnie's having a good look at this red next to the pink. It's from the angle we've got. Doesn't look on. It goes past the pink, but can he see enough of the red? He can. A little bit careless from Ding Junhui.
One.
Yeah, good pot and cleverly played as well, wasn't it? Took the cue ball over to the right-hand side near the cushion. If he'd missed it, it was only going to be the one he'd played. Well, the first chance wasn't great because the black was tied up. This is a lot better.
6. 7.
I think if you were going to look at a difference between the two players, I think Ronnie's capable of just running out and winning all 5 frames, you know, without reply virtually. I don't know whether Ding can do the same thing to Ronnie.
14. 15.
But when you get two players as good as this, it normally comes down to the frames that you can pinch, that you shouldn't win, would be the difference.
Already
22.
looking at a very promising opportunity, this. Manoeuvred a couple of reds out of the way. Could play a little screw into the side of the pack and stay on the 2 reds that are above the black.
Thirty.
It's pretty focused to me. 2 or 3 times in this match, and in each of the first 2 sessions, where it looked like frustration was. Wow. We spoke too soon.
31.
I was about to say a couple of times where frustration looked to be taking hold, but that's just, wow. As I always say, it's unforgivable to miss a black off a spot at this level.
The only thing I can say is, has he been really fortunate and covered the pocket? He may very well have gotten away with it, yeah. So not only has he missed the black, he's covered it for Ding.
Well, in the last session he had, Ronnie definitely had the run of the ball. Ding was unlucky on a couple of occasions. One time went in off. Ronnie straight down looking at a plant, but yeah, one time Ding went in off, and another time went in the pack and potted a red. Ronnie won both frames. Again, careless from Ding, isn't it?
Well, it's an absolutely monumental piece of carelessness, I have to be said. To not notice there was a plant on there and to leave the cue ball that side of the table. I can understand him being a little disappointed coming to the table, not having a chance, but
8.
to leave that one on, that was unmissable.
9.
So Ronnie's going to get away with it. As you can see, he's not going to miss that one.
$16. 17. 24. 25.
Already well past the point
32.
of victory in this frame. And Ding now will be kicking himself. He didn't have a look at those 2 reds.
33.
Okay, he's unlucky not to come to the table and see a chance after Ronnie missed the black, but that plant was always there. Should have spotted it.
40. 41. 47. 48.
First frame this evening. Just coming up to 9 minutes. Don't hang about these two.
54. 55.
aside from that unexpected
60.
black off the spot, and he looks
62.
very fluent and very much up for it. Been good stuff.
$65. $69. $74. $80.
Yeah, but surprising it took him 2 bites of the cherry to finally win the frame, but a very sharp-looking Ronnie O'Sullivan takes a 9 frames to 8 lead over Ding Junhui.
All the way tonight, live here on BBC Two.
Customary break off for Ronnie, left-handed. Reckons he can swing more side on that way. Now, big shot I know, but he may have left this red on the right-hand side for Ding to have a go at. But when your opponent is playing as well as Ronnie is, or looking like it, there's a bit of pressure on this, and his long pot success hasn't been great in this match.
No, 45% is pretty low. He's looking to see if there's some way he can get on the black playing this red. I mean, he could play with 1 cushion, cannon the red to the left of the back, but he's refusing the one to the right corner. He's playing the more difficult one. This needs good cueing, and didn't have good cueing. So he's definitely having problems with his long potting, Ding Junhui. When he gets in, he scores. That's what he always does. That's his strength. But sometimes when you're playing in matches like this against players like Ronnie O'Sullivan, you've got to create your own chances. And if he's not potting long balls, well, it'd be a while waiting for Ronnie to give him a chance.
Tough, I know, but this is a chance. Right in the right-hand corner, stunned round the back of the black. So used to seeing these top players knock these in, but this is far from easy. This will tell us where Ronnie's long game is this evening.
It's funny, it took a while to settle on that. He got up and down a couple of times. Is this where he couldn't pick out the potting point? So he wasn't happy with it. And in the end, missed it.
Yeah, close by his standards, and of course hits that red and knocks it up towards the corner. So first scoring chance for Ding Junhui this evening. What can he do? We'll be disappointed there. Not to just land on a ball colour. It was so important just to get that cue ball out, because that looks like end of break.
Is he taking this yellow on? This is a little bit of frustration, possibly. This is so tough.
Ding Junhui. 1.
Interesting choice of shot. Certainly a biggie. It's not a shot you play every day of the week, that one, and one you practice too much. Don't blame him. If he fancied it, that's fine. But it was a tough shot, that.
I mean, it's literally another roll and it's in. So you can't really call it a bad shot.
1.
Be a bit rich from me telling players not to go for pots. But look what he's left. You know, you'd have to say it's 10-8. Going by how Ronnie looked in the first frame. Okay, that black off a spot apart. I don't think that'll happen again.
$16. $17.
It's all right now. Cue ball going pretty close to that middle pocket. Must have been worried for a second, but that yellow hanging over the corner is very handy. The final kiss was lovely. That cue ball had gone through
19.
the gap and he was on nothing, but that last little flick back in prime position.
$20.
So you live and die by your decisions on a snooker table. And that was a very brave shot. And Ding Junhui took on the yellow.
26.
And the fact he missed it, he's just got to sit and suffer.
27.
I mean, the reds are so well spread out that basically Ronnie's just got to concentrate. You think wherever he puts the cue ball after a colour is going to be on a red. Another 33 points required to secure this frame.
34.
Notice before
41.
each shot, I don't know if Ronnie's always done, I've not noticed it before, but before each shot he puts his feet together
42.
before he gets down to the shot. I don't know, that's a new thing. There you go, feet together and gets down to the shot. You noticed that before, John?
Not really, but
49.
maybe it's just something he feels comfortable with. There's plenty of golfers do the same thing, isn't there, when they put the feet together and separate, so he's got his own little routine there. Walking in on the correct line. So just put that into his routine and it works for him.
57.
Well, you called 10-8 earlier in this break when he was just starting. He's only 2 or 3 pots away from that scoreline. And he nearly missed that black again. Far jaw.
65. $66.
So, no need for me to tell him that's important just to knock plenty more in here. And don't give Ding any encouragement to come back to the table. If you can managed to clear up, or at least the next
73.
2 reds. He won't come back. I'll be interested to see what Ding does here.
And the frame.
That's enough, he's had enough. And despite Ding Junhui taking on a very tricky yellow in the corner, it was Ronnie O'Sullivan who came in and mopped up, and he opens up a 2-frame gap at 10-8.
Ding Junhui 8.
Jason, I'm all over this. Don't worry. Ding does need to get a frame quickly, though. This match could be over before he even knows it.
Needs the cover. Looks like he's got it. Yep. Chipped that red towards the corner more than he would have liked, but brown ball's come to his rescue. Well, very good length of cue ball. So not, are you under only under the cosh not to miss? With Ronnie's safety game. Added pressure, trying to keep the cue ball safe. %81 to 77, so it doesn't look like much between the two players. And Ronnie's left this red out here, but is it a tempter for Ding Junhui? That's excellent cueing.
One.
Okay, couldn't do much with the cue ball, just had to knock it in, but nevertheless, you're still in the driving seat.
Yeah, as our old friend JV, who's sadly missed at this tournament, would say, as long as you pot it, you know you're going to get to play the next shot. That's the most important thing.
Ding Junhui.
Hope you're well, JV. Know you'll be watching this.
Absolutely. Ding did well to get out of that particular situation, rolling that red in and then putting Ronnie back in trouble. And he's hit that far too thick. How's his luck?
And one to left middle. And I think he can just cannon the red next to it and stay in the pink to the left middle. Doesn't have to try and play for black here, I don't think. But very important visit to the table for Ding Junhui, this. That's a great shot.
One.
Hit this very crisp.
Yeah, couldn't really avoid that cannon, could he? The angle he was left on, but it did so well he only flicked off it. Slightly wrong on this one as well, so
8.
not proven to be easy the start of this particular break. And this red cuts back, but doesn't really know where the cue ball's going. That is lovely.
9.
Beautifully controlled.
Yeah, to anyone without Ding Junhui's cue ball control, they wouldn't know where it's going, but he worked out that cannon beautifully, didn't he? The pace he played it at was just perfection. Didn't overhit it.
15.
No Those 4 reds that are to the left of the black. They're the ones that are annoying him. If he can clear those, and this will turn into a frame winning opportunity.
$21. 22. $28.
Get a pretty decent lead before he has to bother about those 4 reds actually. The 4 reds are in between the pink and black. If he can take those with pinks or blacks, he should be in a commanding position in the frame.
29.
Yeah, just wondering what angle he's got here, because the red that's just below the pink is definitely possible. He takes the cue ball through.
$35. 36.
This has been an excellent break so far. Pretty much frozen
42.
out the first 2 frames. But this is just letting Ronnie know that he's still there in this match.
43.
Ronnie wins so many matches by basically bullying his opponent. And Ding's showing he's going to stand up to him here.
Yeah, and it's all come from this, which is an unusual safety mistake
49.
from Ronnie. Much too thick. He knew it as soon as he'd hit it. He was going to cannon those 2 reds, but it wasn't an easy starter for Ding. So there's that
50.
position. I'm just wondering whether one of those reds is potable, or he's going to need to have to play a cannon. But either way, it's possible. He's just looking like, as you can see, it's a top spin. See how these come out. Pretty good, I'd say. Like a bunch of flowers.
Beautiful.
57.
Beautiful. Hugely
58.
impressive, this break.
I mean, even that little shot, you know, it looks like nothing, but it was just played at the perfect pace, wasn't it? So he was absolutely ideal. Wonderful touch. I like the little cutback early in the frame. I mean, just how many players would have played it harder than he did?
65.
He just screwed it in, floated it in, stayed on the pink. This is very, very good
66.
response.
$73.
You think these 2 are going to get fined if they
70.
play a 10-minute frame? It's absolutely wonderful stuff.
I mean, this break is just, I'm so impressed with Ding, how confident he looks after losing the first 2 frames.
81.
He's just never looked in doubt this break.
Yeah, it's making me wonder in the last frame when he took the yellow, why he took the yellow, because I think he feels as if he's playing so well that he just wants to have a look at anything.
If you're confident you can get the pot, no matter
88.
how dangerous it is, you go for it. Now, disappointment.
88. And the
No century break with that magnificent 88 from Ding Junhui. Pulls one frame back, trails Ronnie Sullivan by 10 frames to 9.
You have to just take one match at a time. He has the potential to win it, there's no doubt about that. But whether he can win it this year, I don't know.
This is
He has a
brilliant snooker.
chance.
Back to the boys.
Yep, interesting stuff, and all to be revealed. What we do have is two players playing fabulously well, certainly in the scoring department. When they get in, it's usually end of frame. But one department that isn't firing, it has to be said, is Ding's long game.
How hard did he hit that? I know it always looks worse when you miss a pot. It looks like you've hit it too hard, but that was not hit well. That was hit. That wasn't stroked.
Yeah, that had a load of right hand side on that. It straightened up completely. You nearly hit that full ball.
one.
He's going to need everything to get to this shot.
Thing is, though, if he knocks it in and comes round the back of the black, those three reds are lined up like soldiers. Bound to be on one of them, even if he's not in one in the middle pocket. So this is drop the green in, and a nice chance. Going to call 11-9 now, are you?
Well, I'm not going to call it's not 11-9, that's for sure. I'll say this, I'll be shocked
5.
if it's not 11-9 after Ronnie leaves this table. Just the way both players are playing when they get in. It's just, wow. Another
So,
black to that pocket,
5.
to the far jaw. That's incredible. It really is. I mean, you could virtually go whole season and not see Ronnie miss two of these.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's
1.
proven to be that particular pocket. Even the one he knocked in, he's missed this one, first frame this evening. That one there, and the one he potted in one of the frames, fell in off the far jaw. So,
By the way, I'm shocked.
yeah, absolutely. By the way, you're not on your own.
Six.
The company we're in tonight at this table, unforced errors, will go punished and could cost you this match.
Seven.
Break's going to be slightly more difficult, of course, with the black being out of commission. No way Ding's going to be playing position on that. Stuck to the side rail. But if there's anybody who can sort it out, you're looking at him. Starting by the pink going on the black
30.
spot.
Forty.
Yeah, and I'd be leaving that red that's on the pink spot for quite a while if I could, just because the position is easier, pink being on the black spot at the top of the table. And leave that other one where it is, if you can.
20. 21. $27. 28.
Okay, may play on it now. And then he's got the option to go back up for blue and maybe into the pack.
33.
Depends how he sees it.
I think this red will clear another red to left corner. If he can get on that in such a way, that red.
34.
Although he wanted to be right side of the blue, but there's a red next to the yellow is available. But straight on the blue was the only place he didn't want to be.
Yeah, you're quite right. If that red on the left-hand side of the cluster does pot, and it must do the way he's played it, be taking it on. And this, I would suggest, is probably frame ball. The only thing you've got to watch with this shot if you play it is the middle pocket. If you screw back off it, can come into play. But it won't if you miss the pot by 6 inches.
39.
Wasn't even close, that one. Very unusual.
Yeah, the miss was bad enough, but it was the shot previously. To finish straight in the blue was just... He could play it another 100 times and not finish straight in the blue. Any angle.
Yeah, I mentioned it was potentially frame ball, and I think he played that shot as if he thought it was frame ball. Still didn't expect to see him miss it. Not the way he's hit the ball this evening, and particularly in that last frame.
Yeah, it seems anything from a bit of distance
5.
that needs a bit of power. Stunned. Ting is finding it difficult.
6.
Close in. He looks unbeatable.
$12. 13.
Maybe I have to take that red off the cushion here. Just a little bit. Obviously wanted a fuller contact, but it's easier
18.
than where it was.
And you know
90.
that he knows the significance of this visit. Winning this one, well, pinching it. As Ding was in, it was Ding's chance first. He knows this will hurt Ding Junhui.
23.
And Ding will be sitting there thinking, I know you're going to get them. He'll be fearing the worst. Not the best bit of cueing he's had in this match. And it looks like it's going to be costly.
$24.
Again, looks a lovely angle just to come in behind this red near the right hand side cushion. Choosing to go for the red next to the pink first. I thought it looked a natural to play for the other one.
29. $30.
Yeah, perfect cue ball control. The last shot to get on the pink was just play to perfection. Looks simple,
36.
but he makes a mess of that and he can't get where he is now. And this has just had an air of inevitability about it
37.
since he's come to the table. He was shocked early in the frame, Stephen, when he didn't win it in the earlier visit. I'll be shocked if he doesn't win the frame from here.
40. $42.
Yeah, believe it or not, this is a mid-session interval already. Incredible pace these frames are being played at.
45.
Wonderful visit this.
49.
Top class match play. Ding Junhui was in, made the mistake, and Ronnie O'Sullivan has come in and mopped up. And what a time
54.
to make a wonderful break like this. No complaints for Ding. He was in first, didn't make the most of it.
And the frame.
And Ronnie O'Sullivan has made a telling clearance there. And what a frame that was. Ding looked like coming back into it, but they go to their mid-session interval, and Ronnie has stolen a 2-frame lead. It's 11-9.
And there's so many great snooker players in this tournament still, and they will all feel that they have a chance. You know, I mean, Mark Williams is going to await the winner of this. What a mouth-watering prospect that will be. You've got Neil Robertson against Mark Selby, and you've got, you know, Karen Wilson against Strud Trump. And a qualifier as well will be in another quarterfinal. So it's a fantastic lineup.
Absolutely. Back we go then. Let's go live to John Parrott and Stephen Hendry.
Yeah, thank you, boys. Interesting final session of this match, and I think if Ding was going in the practice table, Stephen, it was to work on his long game, because it is the one department that's been really poor and put him in trouble really by missing the shots he's had.
Yeah, we look at I think here's an example. The frame that he's won tonight is from a mistake from Ronnie's safety. It's not from Ding potting a long ball and creating his own opportunities, and that's what might end up costing him this match. At this level, you've got to be up between 60 and 70% with your long potting.
Yeah, that's the second shot that Ronnie's hit on the thick side in his safety. One of them before let Ding in. So what can he make?
One.
I agree with you entirely. I think close in, he still looks absolutely fantastic, but it's when it's over a distance of ground. As the match time comes to 4 hours and 20. Yeah, it just seems to be, and the average frame time is less than 13 minutes, which is frankly very good indeed. It's just been the mid-range and long potting from Ding. Hasn't been up to scratch. And there's another one.
Ding Junhui one.
It just looks like there's side on that cue ball somewhere. Definitely. You can't keep missing those by that far.
That's a worrying miss.
One.
Well, that pink winning off the red there, which means he missed the pot.
7.
That was a fluke.
8.
Well, the snooker I've watched him play, I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. I mean, how's it gone in? There's another thing. Yep, amazing.
14.
To hit it on the correct angle, to flick off that red and go in. What a fluke that was.
50.
No, there we go. Cue ball into that bunch of reds, and the loose red on the left-hand side is what he'll be on. Yeah, only way he couldn't be on that was if the cue ball had stuck, which it hasn't. And referee Brendan Moore, I'm going to look to see if the pink will spot. Ronnie will be
21.
praying that it doesn't.
22.
A more difficult black to take on.
Yeah, especially as he likes to play these with drag, which means if you decelerate, you miss this thin. He stunned that one in, but it was still missed thin.
Sullivan, 22.
Just ever so slight deceleration in the delivery of the cue. When you've got that long a backswing, it can easily happen. So another opportunity for Ding Junhui. Again, not created by himself, but it's come from a mistake from his opponent. I mean, without Ronnie's help tonight, Ding Junhui wouldn't be in the match, John.
Yeah, it is a worry going forward for him, but at the moment he's got a match to win, and he'll have to hope that there's not too many long pots coming up between now and the end of the match for Ding, because it's been pretty poor.
8.
Cue ball's exemplary close in, but not so clever when there's the distance.
Nine.
Now the gap between the bunch of reds, if you can take the cue ball through the gap, he's going to play for the loose one. So you can see that gap in the 6 reds. It's a nice place to take the cue ball if he gets level on the black here.
16.
The red is just almost touching the pink to the right of it, through the gap and cannon that, and just everything just opens up from there.
Seventeen.
It's worked out well. Didn't find the gap, but
24.
played it well enough and with enough pace.
Yeah, it may just be a little cannon into that red in the centre cluster there. Pink will go in the left-hand corner, the left-hand middle pocket, I should say. So it might just be a little soft cannon. He's thinking about it. Maybe it's not absolutely ideal, but you would think that'd be the shot for Ding.
25.
So he's got a bit of bridging over to do. This is a lot easier than the yellow he took on earlier this evening.
$31.
Goes without saying, this is a huge frame for Ding Junhui.
32.
He's 12-9 behind. Very big ask to win the last 4 frames to knock Ronnie O'Sullivan out of the championship. So this is such a huge visit in its own right.
39.
Another 25 points, which means these 4 nicely placed reds
40.
with either pink or black will be enough to leave Ronnie need a snooker, and the other red is not that difficult. So should win the frame from here. Hmm.
47.
Play for pink. Same pocket.
48.
He's played it well. Just, you don't really want to be letting the cue ball travel as far as that. Anything can happen. You can get a bad bounce or a slow bounce, and all of a sudden you're in the middle of nowhere. But he's back in prime position.
54. 55.
Very good contribution under extreme pressure, this from Ding Junhui. Knew full well how to make the most of it. Just staying on Ronnie O'Sullivan's tail.
61.
Yeah,
62.
He looks very impressive when he gets in close and scoring. But as I said, he just can't rely on just waiting for mistakes that Ronnie makes in this match. At some stage, he's going to have to create his own opportunities, you would think.
68. 69.
Possible
76.
103. Oh, that'll be difficult where the blue is.
78.
Yeah, won't be bothered, will he? Object of the exercise was to win this frame and that visit, which he's done.
81.
Yeah, stretching over, not
81.
bothered, but a very good visit. A break of 81 from Ding Junhui under extreme pressure. And he's one behind again. Ronnie O'Sullivan leads by 11 frames to 10.
Ding was on for the 103. He said, last time I got 103, it was a bus.
Yes, and don't you be fooled by the Darling of Dublin. He can still hit the cue ball. Don't worry about that. He'll be trying in the seniors when it comes up. So, big shot. Nearly hit the wrong side of that one. It really is Jekyll and Hyde where the short and long game are concerned.
But why just stun for the pink goes to the right corner? Why is he trying to screw the cue ball all the way back to bulk?
Because he's not confident with his long game.
But the harder you hit it, I mean, you look at the ball, he's not really even leaving anything. The harder you have to hit it, the more difficult it becomes. If he maybe plays it a little bit less pace.
The trouble is that long game is becoming his own worst enemy. Trouble is, it's difficult to refuse. It's the right shot to take on. It's just you don't fancy him knocking it in. I think it was any 50-50s in that department. I might be playing on the safety side, but he hasn't had those. It's a shot he has to take on. Oh, goodness me. Good shot, but that's worked out lovely. Flick the red away from the black. Perfect angle. we see it again. Splits up the red from the black. Well, what about a lovely little cannon there?
There's not many players in the game would have played that last shot from the yellow
9.
straight away to get the black into the open. Magnificent shot.
Ten. Sixteen. Seventeen. 23.
See that? He actually clicks his feet together.
24.
It's obviously it's a lining up thing he's got.
Yeah, one of those things, if it works and you feel comfortable doing it, puts you in the right position, you're going to keep doing it. That's obviously part of his routine now.
$31.
Now, looks like bottom red of the cluster is available.
$36.
It really is
37.
an art to be able to play as fluent and as silky as O'Sullivan does in the heat of battle. Now, should be okay. I don't think the pink is going to be a problem. Into the
43.
cluster there, could have come out a little better for him. I think he's still going to be all right.
$44.
Just walking around like he's in the club.
It definitely looks to me like he wants to be here. I think the past few years he's not looked great
48.
in himself, but to me he looks fresh. It looks like, you know, he's still okay. He's made
49.
mistakes. He's missed blacks off his spot, but to me, he looks like he wants to be here. Definitely going to be a factor.
55.
If he gets through this match in this year's World Championship.
Yep, that's the first time since, well, the year dot he hasn't been favourite for the championship coming in.
56.
Favourite position held by Judd Trump. So a little bit of pressure off him there, and the fact is not the crowds outside and all the razzmatazz that goes with it coming in, because no one gets bothered more than Ronnie does for selfies and autographs and all the usual things. And he can just come in, play his match, concentrate on what he's got to do. And I think it's suiting him.
$60.
Now, you can argue all you like that was a nice little flick. Stephen mentioned he was straight into the black and reds off the yellow, which is a shot not everyone would have played, but it certainly came out nicely. But since then, this has just been wonderful. Made to look
67.
incredibly simple when it's anything but. And Ding Junhui, if he's going to stay in this year's championship, he's going to have to win the last 3 frames to do so against the man in this form.
74.
A very tall order.
$81. $82.
He's had 3 centuries so far in this
89.
championship. He's going to need a good pot on the red if he's going to make his 4th.
90.
Wonderful. Potted that as if it was hanging over the pocket. 60 so far in total.
A lot of talent. It's been said
97.
numerous times before, but it's worth repeating. This boy is something special.
99.
This is a really important part of the match, and he's producing his best when he needs to. I'm playing better than this.
$106.
Another frame that's going to be under 10 minutes.
111.
Not bothered about that, but what a fantastic break of 117 from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Right in the heat of battle, and produces his best. And he takes the lead at 12-10, 1 away from the quarter-final. Well, keeps playing like he is in amongst the balls, Jason. There's every chance he'll keep going. That was just wonderful, that last frame he played. And Ding Junhui has got it all to do. Not as intended, but has he got the cover? Looks like it. Well, don't know whether Ding might be able to swerve that a little bit. Doesn't look like he can get it directly. But he really is walking the tightrope now, Ding. He knows full well one mistake, and it could be the end of his World Championship for this year. So it could be cushion first, looking at it. Yep, cushion first. Oh, and if that red that comes out past the red, that's trouble. Uh-oh.
Is that the last shot that Ding Junhui is going to play in this year's World Championship?
1.
If he can get on the red, maybe a choice of reds to right corner, so just a little stun through the gap here. And
6.
lovely angle in the red. Is he to just flick the red away that's left of the black?
Yeah, just got to be a little bit careful, which is why he punched out instead and came up for blue.
7.
Could have gone wrong that, so didn't take the chance with it.
Try again now. Red. Just to the right of the black.
Yeah, that red that's to the extreme left, you can see, was the one that's the problem there, because if
12.
when he comes down, he could rest on that or snooker himself.
13.
He's decided to wait a little bit later.
18.
So screws out from this red, gets on the pink and drops the pink in. He can get virtually where Stephen mentioned earlier, to get on that red above the black. So there's the first bit.
19.
Come through on the pink, and he can, well, a little bit of a grimace there, but looking like he can drop on that plum. Just checking up where it needs to be. As I say, that red on the left-hand side has been a little bit of a problem in this break.
Give me a second, line, please.
Yeah, so much so it's a change of plan. He's going to run through, but could have snookered himself, so didn't take the chance.
Thank you. 25. $26.
Oh, good pot. Is he on anything?
33.
I finished that close with the last shot that he played. Is there a red the pot other than the one he's closest to? And these are pretty tricky when you're this close and you're not directly behind.
34.
Well, for mere mortals anyway.
$41.
Just stopped in time. The cue ball, nice little bit of right hand side. So when the cue ball went forward to the side cushion, made sure it went up the way, up the table.
42.
And if you're looking for the perfect way to finish these matches off,
49.
you're looking at it.
50.
Absolutely wonderful. And most people will be struggling to get over the line. He's looking like he's enjoying every minute of it. Not exactly slow doing it either. So he should be able to just,
57.
if he's come straight on this red, it's ideal because he can just stun it in, leave an angle on the pink, and then it's perfect to screw into the reds. So just depends on the angle. If he can just stick on this, it's ideal. And he can.
58.
This should be frame and match after this shot. And a good World Championship, but ultimately he's run into one in Ronnie O'Sullivan, but also he's been slightly found out because his long game hasn't been good enough. And it sounds
64.
very harsh, but this is the standard he's playing at when you're playing against this man. All departments need to be functioning, and Ding's long game today has caused him a bit more trouble than it should have done.
$65.
Yeah, and up next for Ronnie, Mr. Williams. That should be a match to savour.
$67. $68.
Just two fabulous frames, simple as that. Fully focused, never in doubt that he was going to make the contributions big enough.
71.
Boy's a genius.
72. $79.
And on this form, playing like this and hitting it like this, he's going to take a bit of stopping, because he looks up for it in this year's World Championship.
87.
Yeah, as I said before,
88.
when I seen his first round match against Tip Chaya, not even anything to do with snooker. That's the best I thought he's looked at this tournament for years.
93.
Yep. Hard to believe he hasn't been in a final since 2014. Won't be too worried about missing that one. But what a wonderful way to finish a match off. Ding Junhui smiles and acknowledges Ronnie O'Sullivan. An absolutely brilliant performance to get over the line. 2 wonderful frames from 11-10. And it's Ronnie O'Sullivan who goes through to the quarter-final, where he'll face the 3-time champion, Mark Williams. Ronnie O'Sullivan wins by 13 frames to 10.